Hello YouTubers, it's been a while. This is WA2BMB. My name is Alex, and I want to talk to you today about the AC VTVM by Heathkit. It was built in 1961, I think, till 68 if I remember right. What this measures is the output voltage of the audio output section of your receiver. Now, you would want to do that while you're aligning the receiver. The indication on the analog meter is a lot slower than a digital meter and even a scope, so it'd be easier for you to peak different circuits. That being said, you can use an oscilloscope hooked up to the audio output also of your receiver and do it that way. But this is something I've always wanted, so I saw one that was a halfway decent price and I bought it. It has a problem, or had a problem. The range switch on it was stuck. As you can see right now, it's not. And you hear the thumping. That's called a detent action. This is a detent type range switch. And it just would not move. So the first thing I did was, upon closer inspection, I checked the knob to make sure that there was no dents, that this didn't take any shots from the front. Since the meter is in pristine condition here, and these binding posts are not damaged, that kind of led this damage out as a cause for that problem. I opened I took it out of the case. I was looking for a big detent switch to show you exactly what I mean, but I couldn't really find one. So I had them, but they were all kind of small, and I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to turn out. So this is basically what this range switch is. You have a knob, you have the front panel here, you have like a roller coaster type setup down here that a ball bearing rides over and settles into each little detent to give you your range. So when you put the range switch in the 1 volt position, it doesn't decide to shift around. Well, all this does up here, it's like a pressure plate. It puts downward pressure on this ball bearing and keeps it in this detent. Well, when I couldn't find any physical damage, the first thing I noticed was that this was all black. Somewhere, somebody along the line had put lubrication on this switch. Now, I checked the manual, and I didn't see that Heathkit ever supplied any kind of lubrication for this switch, so they meant it to run dry. So somebody along the line put the lubrication in here, and it turned black. This whole area was just black. And it turned from a lubricant to pretty much a super glue. Now, you could turn this knob, but it was very hard to do. Now, as I stated earlier, you're talking about a meter that was made in 1961. You start cranking on this knob, you got a good chance of breaking it. And you can crank on it all you want. You've got to get rid of this junk in here that's creating the problem. Cranking on this knob is not going to make it sufficiently better. Or I should say significantly better. So, how do we do it? Well, I tried regular tuna cleaner, and it didn't work. Tried a couple other things, really didn't work. I tried this product here. It's called Brake Clean by CRC. Okay, I do not have any financial interest in this company. I used it because it's a great product. You can get it pretty much in any auto parts store. It's used to clean brake parts. You could probably get it under any other manufacturers also. I'm sure there's many manufacturers that do this. This one in particular states at the bottom that it is non-flammable. I would suggest you look for one that is non-flammable. If not, after you spray that assembly, you should leave it out of the case for at least a day and let it all air out before you plug it in. Okay, so what I did here now, with this brake clean, I used the red nozzle that comes along with it. And I pointed the red nozzle directly at this ball bearing. I gave it a quick shot. I turned the meter over on the back side of this switch and gave it a quick shot. Then I worked the knob a little bit. I gave it a longer shot and worked the knob a little bit. And I did the same thing on the opposite side. Now what I did to spray it, you have to be careful. I'm not sure what this brake clean will do to this wafer switch. This range switch here, I'm not sure if it'll eat it up or what. So what I did was I was very careful. I just gave it a quick shot. And the whole time I was outside, I suggest you do this outside. Imagine the case is off of this thing. You turn it to the side so you could see where you're going to spray in there. You spray it, let the excess brake clean fall out of the instrument on the opposite side. You turn it over and you hit that mechanical arrangement from this side also, making sure that you've got it tilted so all this spray goes out the back. Now you're not spraying it like a madman. I'm talking about a quick 1 second shot, moving the knob, then a little longer duration, but instead of hitting the ball bearing, what I did was I sprayed across it. Quick shot, whoosh, turn it over, whoosh. Also making sure that all this brake clean is running out of the bottom, the side of this thing. What you don't want to do is contact the control surface here, the knobs, this plastic covering over the meter, because if this stuff gets ruined, then, I mean, let's face it, you're restoring this thing. You don't want it to look like a piece of junk when you're done. I'm not exactly sure if this would harm the paint or this plastic or this knob, but guess what? I didn't want to take a chance. So after I did that, I was able to turn it freely. I let the brake clean dry. I let it sit out for about 24 hours just to let it dry, even though it says it's non-flammable. Now you guys may end up with a different product. And if you don't look close enough, if you get something that is flammable, you could have a problem. So what you want to make sure is all the vapors are gone before you turn this meter on. But before you even turn the meter on, and of course this goes without saying, as you can see the plug's been laying right here. You don't do any of this with this thing plugged in. I shouldn't have to say that. It should go without saying, but okay, unplug it. Now, once you have it cleaned like that, you could take a little drop of maybe 3-in-1 oil and put it down here in the mechanism. What I would suggest is you take your 3-in-1 oil or even mineral oil. Put a drop on that ball bearing there. Put a little bit on the race. You don't have to soak this thing down, just because it was originally meant to be used dry. But putting a little bit of lubrication in there will not hurt. I'm talking about a drop or two. Don't go crazy. So, now that that's been settled, you could put your regular knob back on. Okay, it's a good practice. The next time you go to a Hamfest, crawl up underneath the bench. Just you could usually get these knobs for like $0.25 or $1 for 10 of them or something ridiculous. It doesn't matter what the knob looks like. Doesn't matter how it goes on. You could go on with an Allen screw or a set screw, a regular bladed set screw. It doesn't matter. What you're trying to do is substitute this so this does not get damaged. And that's the long and the short of it. It's not a big deal. Just the main thing to remember is to make sure that you do this outside. You tilt the meter away and down, so when you spray into that mechanism, the excess spray goes out, and you're not drowning this thing in brake clean or any other brake cleaner. Because like I said, I have no idea what reaction the van switch is going to, range switch rather, is going to have on that. So you got to be careful. Use it sparingly, and it'll solve your problem beautifully. So that's all for today. A very simple video, just to give you an extra idea how to clean the range switch on this unit. And while you're in there, what I do also is I went and cleaned the range switch with some Tarnex and tuner cleaner. I just sprayed it in there, cleaned it all off, so it's got a nice contact surface, and you're probably good for another 60 years. So there you go. There's a quick fix for the IM-21. You may want to go in there and change electrolytic caps and some of the other caps that are in there. If you feel that's necessary, you go right ahead. I had to complete this repair before I could check it out and do anything else. So once I got that done, I wanted to let you know what I did, just to give you a leg up if you have the same problem. So what I'm going to do is say 7-3 for now. I wish you all the very best. Please take care of yourselves and each other. This is WA2BMB. Stay well and be safe.